already.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and others who got millstones, salutations to the hopeful elect. And this is going to be a quick lesson, basically going to go into a quick lesson of what's going on in the news. But here, Iranian military leader vows Tehran will not submit as U.S. prepares further economic squeeze. And what the U.S. is trying to do is that they're trying to push a economic squeeze on Iran, all right? But nonetheless, all right, the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, all right? America's economy is already failing, all right? A lot of people here in America are, all right, a lot of people here in America are out of a job, all right? People are paying more for gas, all right, groceries, and then hey, it's only going to get worse from there. All right. Nonetheless, well, I was looking into this news. All right, and basically, China. All right. I mean, the U.S. and the China are about to have tensions. All right. And all this is going according to prophecy because in Matthew chapter 24, all right, it tells you the signs of the times that are coming to pass, the prophecies that they're being fulfilled. All right, the wars and rumors of wars. All right, and America is about to go into a trade war, or as what you would call a economic war with China. All right, just like how in somewhat way, all right, the U.S. and Iran are going at each other by an economic war and a conventional war. Well, nonetheless, all right, them small headers, right, they draw the U.S. into this. All right, these elites, all right, they typically draw America into this third world war. All right, which will lead up to the destruction of America, Babylon the Great. This is what you have happening here right now. All right, they send a USS Abraham Lincoln ship over there, and then they couldn't remain over there because they were running out of rations. All right, they had poor. They were living in poor conditions where they had no soap, no clean water. All right, people on that ship stabbing each other. All right, people having a ration of food, basically going down to cups of rice and tortillas. All right. Nonetheless, all right, these smart hatters did a pretty good job in drawing America into this Third World War. All right. But here is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, which is America, right? And his purposes that he had purpose against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And that's what the small headers are doing, all right? They're drawing America out into this Third World War, all right? And well, it has been since March, since this war has begun, all right? February, March, yeah, and it's been going on for 6 months so far. All right, and what you got U.S. soldiers dying in the masses, all right, in the thousands. All right, Americans here having to pay the price of more higher grocery bills and gas prices. All right, but nonetheless, it goes to show you that America is through. All right, now since we're going into this economic war with China, all right, this is only going to make things even more worse for America. All right, but not only for America, but all of Europe as well, because they're facing an energy crisis as well. All right, which will lead to which will lead to the beast hating the whore. All right, and all these nations, they can see that the main problem on this earth is the U.S. uh, and and Israel. All right. Slut. But yeah, nothing's getting shipped. All right. I'm gonna get that out. And the beast shall hate the whore. Revelation 17 and 16. And yeah, over there in Europe, all right, you already have them fuel starting to fuel ration as well. All right, so they're feeling the economic pain over there too. All right, and this is all done because of the small hatters, right, in the U.S. Well, this is Revelation 17, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And the 10 horns, the 10 horns and the beast, all right, uh, is going into the NATO and the EU. And real soon, all right, because America's already in this Third World War, all right. America is bound to be destroyed, all right, by thermal nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles, all right. Verse 18, and the one which thou sawest is that great city that reigneth over the kings of the earth, which is America. All right, everybody, every nation, they look at America as the greatest country on this earth. All right, you got people from Europe, you got people from South America, you got people all over around the world that they want to travel to America just to find a better way of living. They want to live it up. They want a white picket fence house, all right, and live off their money over here, all right. But meanwhile, all right, America is crumbling, all right. There's no healing for this place, and yeah, you have the BRICS, all right. They're already starting their, real soon, all right. I think they got their new currency ready already, but the BRICS, they got a damn. Let's see, BRICS currency. Well, yeah, the BRICS bloc is not entirely abandoning the U.S. dollar, but they will soon. All right, and all these other countries too are going to abandon the U.S. dollar, and it's going to take a toll on America's economy. All right, and basically, BRICS they're about to start their own currency. All right, and all these other nations that America once bullied, or even America's allies, they're going to jump ship and basically join the BRICS. All right, and abandoning the U.S. dollar. But it says, but members are actively reducing the reliance on it. You see, through local currency, military trade, alternative payment frameworks like BRICS Pay, and decentralized cross-border settlement pilots, but to bypass Western financial work networks like SWIFT. So they're trying to de-dollarize. They're trying to de-dollarize the U.S. Dollar. All right. Local currencies, countries like China and Russia now settle the majority of their bilateral trade using yuan and rubles, while other members promote trade in domestic currencies rather than a single unified alternative currency. But yeah, America's too. America cannot be healed. Here you got people still traveling here in America, all right, thinking that there's still an American dream. Hell no. All right, they ain't no American dream here in America. Hell no. This place is bound to be destroyed. Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verse 7. I'm going to start at verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver a man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And that's right. That's what we're doing right now. All right, fleeing America from the Babylonian, from the Americanized, westernized mindset by taking heed unto this word. All right, because the Lord is soon going to destroy this place and these people here. Verse 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken over her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. And that's right. That goes into America's philosophies, the democracy, their pedophilia, all right, and all kinds of madness. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto the heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. And that's right, America cannot be healed. All right, you hear everything. There's a lot of things going on. You turn on the news, or you hear something major, all right, something horrible, all right, where Americans are feeling the pain, all right, and having to pay more for groceries and shit and gas, all right, a lot of homelessness, joblessness, all right, people getting laid off from the tech jobs, people getting laid off from an airport, like forgot the Spirit Airlines, all right, 17,000 workers laid off in just a day. All right, this place has no healing. All right, this place, America. All right, and these people are bound to be destroyed. All right, but nonetheless, that was it to the lesson. Hope it was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Akakudash, and Shalom.